Are you happy with your life?
How do I know?
All good.
Todd?
Sure.
What are you doing here? I didn't authorize this trip.
Oh, sorry, Richard. We have some news that's delivered in person.
Global is threatening to flood merger and must close this deal immediately.
And the board has voted to purchase the mortgage of this property from the local bank, which means we now want to know. And unfortunately, we're going to we're close. We have to do it right away. The project's dead.
They can't do that. I'm the CEO.
Well, of course they can. It's in the bylaws.
But the good news is, your dad loves to do ranch
Loves.
stuff. Yeah, we already have plans in the works to implement.
What?
Wasn't enough for you to steal my ranch. You stole my idea as well.
Sam, this is a mistake. I can fix this.
You know, you're really good at what you do, Richard Belmont. I was starting to believe you actually cared.
Sam, just listen.
Come on.
Richard, come on.
Let's go.
Why don't we let the lawyers handle the rest of this deal? So we should take the ranch by force. It's just business, it's not personal, it's always personal. It's nothing more personal than home.
Richard, our plan is a good one. And you'll never find a place as perfect as this location.
Our plan? It's not our plan, it's Sam's plan. This is not right.
Richard, if you could just, Richard? Stone saying.
What's wrong with him, Sam? I different words.
Maybe. You'd be surprised how much you can have in common with someone. At first glance, it's totally different from you. You're a good man. Don't let anybody tell you, including me.
Hey guys, I just hopped on. Is nothing happening yet? Hey Marie.
Not
Hey,
yet. She
Sarah.
hasn't showed up.
It's not on yet.
So I might be some good entertainment then. Check out my lovely scary lady in the meantime. I'm doing mannequin hair for the Scarecrow
That's
Festival.
awesome.
Hello, stick with me for just a minute,
Are
please.
you gonna do her hair too?
All right, welcome everybody. Forgive my tardiness to my own class, right? We have been dealing with a neighborhood disaster today. And it's been crisis mode, and so I just let a mother of a young man that's in the ICU go back to the hospital. So forgive me here while I get my stuff together. But will you just say a prayer in your heart for Jaden? And this is a story for all of us, all right? Jaden is in his young 20s. I don't remember. He's 24 or 25. And he is fighting for his life tonight after going in yesterday to the hospital, unable to breathe. Turns out that he's got what we call lipoid pneumonia. He's got a double pneumonia now. He's got a bacterial and who knows, whatever kind of a pneumonia, but he's got lipoid pneumonia, if I could say that word, which means that his lungs are surrounded and filled with oil. He was vaping and his alveoli are almost non-existent, and I don't know that he's going to make it. So when I heard this story today, I reached out to the mother, who's a dear friend and a team member, and it's possible she may be on at some point in time in the future. But she's very open to oils, and so as I heard this story, I went, oh my gosh, we got it. What can we do? So let me just ask you, with what I've told you so far, what are your thoughts? What would you suggest to a mother who's got a boy fighting for his life with lipoid pneumonia, knowing that his lungs are surrounded and filled with oil from vaping? What kind of oil? I don't know what he was vaping, but I know vaping is not a good deal. But what would you suggest for this mother who's got a boy that didn't make it? You've all been using the oils. You're all on here. You've all had some kind of experience. So let's talk about that for a minute. What would you suggest? Let's see.
Debbie, is he completely non-responsive right now? Like is he on life support?
He is not on life support. He's on a respirator, so it's breathing for him and oxygenating for him. But he is awake. He can nod. He can't talk. He can't eat. He's got a ton of stuff going into his body, but he is awake. That's the good news at this point.
And they have him on like strong antibiotics right now. Is that what they're doing to treat it?
Yeah, they've got him on. They don't know what to do. They've never seen anything like it. They've got doctors from all over the Intermountain Healthcare and the University of Utah working together on this case because they've never seen anything like it. So this vaping thing is a new deal, right?
What, like, common sense, what removes oil is lemon, is what I think. Like, can they diffuse lemon in the room and like have that breathing in, and then
Citrus oils
as
are
long as
thing,
there's lots
right?
of IV flushing him, like you need to have lots of water flushing that lemon out of you, right? So
There's no way to get lemon in his body other than the IV.
Can she massage his feet with
Yeah.
oils?
That's
I
what
would
we
just
do.
be constantly doing that because you can get to the lungs via the balls of the feet.
Exactly.
And then you could do the oils like that support antibiotics, right? Like you could do like the On Guard and tea tree because that's going to help, and oregano and arborvitae and
Mhm.
rose that could, help. Be nice. It'd be nice if there was some way to like if Heather was there, I'd get her to body talk him.
Yeah, there you go,
But,
right?
like his body could like say which one would be most effective rubbed on his feet. But
Yeah. So, any other thoughts? Those of you who did a live streaming of convention from the new oils, what would you recommend? We're going to talk about them. Any thoughts there?
Rose.
Yeah, Rose. Great idea.
What did Emily Wright say? It had the most broad spectrum
Yeah.
of all the oils, stronger than oregano and On Guard.
Yep. That's a really good point. I did not send Angie with rose oil. Good point.
And I love that like the touch oil makes it, so accessible for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Like it's awesome that they're giving us the opportunity to purchase like the whole bottle of rose. But I know in the past, like I want it and not used it because it was like, I knew how expensive it was. I knew how hard it was to get. So then I kind of hoarded it.
Yep.
Whereas since I got the touch oil, I find like I use it so much more because I feel like so much more free.
Yep.
And I know I can, it's not that expensive. I can get a new bottle as soon as I run out. It's all good.
Exactly right. Every time we go to convention, my husband buys the rose lotion.
Mm.
And it was that when he bought it again today, I'm like, I'm not even close to being out of the rose lotion that I have, right? But it was a reminder, you know what, maybe my husband really likes rose lotion. And I use the rose touch all the time. In fact, I need to bring up another bottle for my office because I'm out upstairs. So interesting things, right? So, well, let's go ahead and share some slides now. I will tell you that I've been watching the Wednesday morning session of convention again and again, taking notes, screenshotting. And so I have about 400,000 slides on this presentation, but I'm not going to show them all. So I'm going to go back and forth, okay, between sharing my screen and not sharing my screen as I scroll through a bunch of stuff that we don't have time for tonight, but just that I wanted to put together, all right? So forgive me for that. These are not going to be perfect slides by any stretch of the imagination. But every time I go to convention, I'm really, really amazed by how well doTERRA does this convention. And it's always amazing to me. I keep thinking, gosh, they can't do better than they did last year. And lo and behold, they do, right? Every year convention is phenomenal. And so we come together as a large doTERRA family, a global convention. That was a word that I was saying our international convention, right? But global puts even a little bit broader to me. I don't know why, but that word global is big. And so we come together as a global doTERRA community for the purpose of what? Why do we come together for convention each year?
Connection, education,
Yeah. And we're all learning, right? Our
inspiration.
inspiration. Yeah, no, what more can we do? What more can we do to literally change what's happening? And so every year I look forward to this since last we met. What's happened in the last year? And so I'm going to just go through this really quickly. But one thing that really came out in this convention was doTERRA's commitment once again to purity, to absolute purity. And we are all over the world. And I think I absolutely loved their attention to all the stockholders, to the growers, the harvesters, those that are distilling, to us as wellness advocates and wholesale customers. They're really mindful of all the stockholders that are involved with doTERRA, and they take that into consideration with all of their choices, all of their new products, all of their commitment to us. And so it's a beautiful, inspirational, it really does light our fire, right, when we come together. And so I love this part of what's happened since last we met. So we have distilled, we have put together, we have filled this many bottles, 70 million plus bottles. And that's enough to line them up from New York City to San Francisco, California. If we lined up all the bottles one by one, side by side, touching each other, that's quite a few bottles of oils, right? I loved their attention throughout convention on the Healing Hands Foundation and all the many projects they've been working on and all the good they've done across the world. That's inspiring to me, and it makes me feel like I'm with the right company at the right time doing the right thing. And I love that. Okay, and so this is really an exciting thing. So, all right, hang on for a moment while I stop my share and scroll through a bunch of slides and move on to some new products. Ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we are in a big growing industry. Oh, you know what? Let's go through these for just a minute. This is another part that I think is really helpful. With the growth of doTERRA's campus, the growth of what they're creating here, and their long-term vision. This is amazing what they've accomplished. So they really quadrupled this building. And so on the north side of this, I don't know if you can see my cursor. I can't see my cursor anyway. But on the north side of this building, they've got, and it's right, you see the big doTERRA campus on the big square building. They've got the Will Call is on the north side, and they've seriously quadrupled this building. It is humongous, and it can be seen from NASA or from space. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? That doTERRA is known all over the world and can now be seen from space. That's pretty cool. But they've really added to so that they can really be self-reliant, self-sufficient in managing and preparing for all the growth that's happening with doTERRA. So we have, this is the new fulfillment center that is actually off campus at another location because they've already filled up their campus, and they bought, I don't know, I want to say 14 acres, and it's completely filled now, and now they've launched off of that. So they've got new things to move those 3,000 employees from the main campus to another campus so that they can handle the demands on campus. Lots of international projects going on. So they've got new offices in Japan, new offices in Taiwan, new offices in Germany, new office in Brazil. And Brazil is growing incredibly big. New open markets in Colombia, South America, and South Africa. Philippines, actually, the Philippines and South Africa. I think Colombia opens in October. I believe the Philippines is going to, actually Colombia is opened, but they're going to do an open house or grand opening in, I believe, October. Philippines in November. South Africa is coming. You'll hear more and more. So why do we share this new growth in these international countries? We all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that lives in that country. And honestly, Marie, when you got started in Canada, that was the deal, right? That was what Canada was opening up to. And so these all new countries are just starting out, and we all know somebody who knows somebody who's going to know somebody in these countries, and we want to go out there and bless lives too. And so really great things are happening across the world at large. Now, they talked about the Prime Meridian, and this is our new Prime Meridian Clinic in Pleasant Grove, Utah, right across the street from the main corporate offices. We've got an office. This is kind of showing the decor there, and it's really earthy in there. They've got moss growing on the walls. They've got all the furnishings are all with regards to earth. Okay, they've got a clinic already operational in Nashville, Tennessee, one in St. George, Utah, and so those are what's running right now, and they're really working to create this across the U.S. nation and throughout the world eventually. So they've scheduled 30 plus clinics in the U.S., but there's a challenge. What do you think are some of the challenges in bringing together these clinics? What's your thought there? What are some of the challenges? Finding personnel to staff them, right? They're merging allopathic trained physicians with naturopathic trained physicians, or a naturopathic offering, right? And so the beauty that I see personally in this is that I can direct my own healthcare. So if and when this Pleasant Grove campus opens up to the general population at large, right now they are so busy with employees that they don't have time for anybody else. And there's other companies in Utah County, which is the county just south of me. There's other companies that want to partner with doTERRA to bring their employees to this health clinic. I don't know how this is going to work. We simply don't have enough room, and we don't have enough doctors online yet. But the beauty of this is that as you make your appointments with your doctor, you will be able to seriously direct your own healthcare. And I'm really excited about this. So then they talked a lot about Rwanda. Let me go out of here. So I've got a bunch of slides in here on Rwanda, which is really some of the miracle work they're doing with the Healing Hands Foundation that is so inspiring. And we talked a lot about that. We talked about it a little bit on day one, and then we talked about it a lot bit on day two, okay? And so that was really interesting. So, and the theme of this year's convention was together. And so they talked about, this is not just a one-man show. This is not just about doTERRA. This is about all of us. And so with this together theme, they talked a great deal about the power of many, okay? That takes all of us working together with the same mindset, and it's not exact. I mean, we're all creative. In fact, they talked about that endless creativity with all of us. But talking about that, each one of us, are good, okay, and that we can contribute to the good of the whole. And then Emily Wright came in and shared about the new products. Now, I don't know if you've been guessing what products were going to come out, but I know I was guessing, and I did peg one. In fact, one product I think we pretty much pegged, right? I did peg this one. We're going to put the dual capsule. I didn't peg any of the others. I really didn't. I had no idea what they might come up with, but it was kind of fun to do this. And so they talked about committed to essential oils, committed to purity, the entire thing. They talked about the Boreal Forest. You Canadians who are here, this was lovely because the Boreal Forest, I'm saying that right, comprises 11.5% of the entire Earth's landmass. That is humongous, right? And so that's really exciting that we now have. So here they are, headed to the forest to source black spruce. Right? We have black spruce found in Balance and Forgive. In fact, I actually gave Angie some Forgive because she's picking herself. This is a young man that's dying here, a young man who has put all kinds of crap in his body. And so he's cried wolf so many times that when he called her and said, "Mom, I feel like I'm going to die," her response was, "Get to Instacare." Now she's feeling all kinds of guilt, and she had no idea how critically ill he was. But at any rate, so black spruce is sourced in Canada. Really fabulous things about black spruce, and it's been, sharing this with Angie, what other recommended. But lots of benefits with black spruce. And by the way, the new books are out. So we have the new Essential Life book that's available, the new Modern Essentials book that's available, and also we have the Emotions and Essential Oils book, the new one available, edition 8, with a new title. So this book here has a new title now called Essential Emotions. Okay. So those are going to be great resources for us, and they have all the new oils in them. So as we take a look, I'm really learning to love this Essential Life book with regards to Laura Jacobs, 3 words to describe each of the oils to really jog our memory and our ability to remember what it's good for. So I'm going to open up this book and talk about the 3 words there on your screen that talk about what black spruce is good for. And so good for grounding, enduring, and advancing. So anytime we need to advance physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, this is an option, right? Enduring, when we're going through hard trials, this is an option. And I think that whole family is going to really appreciate black spruce in the hospital setting. But really great for adrenal fatigue. Let's see what my next slide is, okay? Let's go with the key benefits. Removes emotional blocks, encourages forward movement, aids in overcoming fear triggered by past experiences. And then that other one's covered up by all your pictures. So what's the 4th one say? What do you see on my screen there, Sarah? Can you see it?
Provides a sense of courage.
Thank you, okay. And so top uses would be adrenal fatigue, nervous exhaustion, over-striving. How do you like that word? I love that word.
For the adrenal fatigue, Debbie, is the protocol to put it on the kidneys?
Yes. And so you're going to apply black spruce topically and aromatically. And so everything was 2 to 3 drops with fractionated coconut oil, wherever you're going to apply it. 2 to 3 drops with fractionated coconut oil, okay? Over the kidneys, over the lungs. It's really great for asthma, bronchitis, sinusitis, spastic and moist coughs. Really great for chronic back or joint pain. So with regards to all the tree oils, all the furs, they're really great for that. They're really good for that too. Now, black spruce does have a steroidal benefit. That's why I thought of it for Jaden, is that it has a steroidal benefit, and certainly they're just plastering him with steroids to try to bring down the inflammation, try to keep his airways open. And so the black spruce came to mind because of that too for me. Great for hormone and stress-related skin outbreaks. So you got a teenager with that's going into puberty or enter pre-puberty, and they are having a lot of hormonal or acne blemish outbreaks, okay? So really great for that. Really great for high blood pressure. So really cardiovascular, safe for the cardiovascular system. Great for lack of confidence, insecurity, indecisiveness. Can't make up a decision. Black spruce is a great one to breathe in and become more clear, okay? It's fantastic for the brain and for the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the thymus, the thyroid. Really great for what I call the triple marmor, the adrenals, the thyroid, the pituitary. And so it's great for so many things. Great for memory loss, Alzheimer's disease, feeling unable to influence due to setbacks or limiting beliefs, unforgiving, really good things. Think of, anytime we see the tree oils, they're really grounding. They kind of center us. They dig our roots deeper, so to speak. And so we're not so susceptible to the storms of life when we're using those tree oils. Great for wound healing, especially post-surgical care and cancer. Great for wound healing for those reasons. Great for low testosterone. Make a note of that, all right? Great for low testosterone performance in men, sexual performance, and also a great men's cologne, okay? It really helps with eating disorders, especially an insatiable appetite or overeating. Just if you just better breathe it in for emotional balance, and it will help kind of curb that a little bit. So really great things for black spruce. I'm going to tap into this Essential Emotions book. Both grounding and stabilizing. Of all the grounding oils, the spruces are the most effective, especially helpful in times of crises, shock, or trauma. That's what we're dealing with here with Jaden. And so great option there, okay? During experiences, a person's energy may splinter, causing emotional disruption, and these stabilize that imbalance. Black spruce has mastered the art of energy conservation and endurance. So in that first slide where it said enduring, great idea to use black spruce when we're just completely overburdened, overstimulated, overworked, pushing ourselves to the max, adrenal fatigue. So it's a really great one for that. Okay. Great Black Spruce models how to persevere through the storms of life by drawing strength from one's roots, going back to that which we know to be true. It offers a model of vitality and longevity through living in harmony with nature's cycles and seasons, which can also assist individuals who feel depleted of energy to renew themselves. It's an ally in dealing with fear, especially subconscious or generational fears. This is a really beautiful part here. All individuals hold genetic and DNA memories from the generations that have gone on before. At times, individuals may struggle under the weight of fears that did not originate with them. Black Spruce helps them gain clarity about fear-based memories and release them from the mind and body, freeing themselves and others in the process. So really great for some generational issues that were not our issue, right? Now, as far as the main chemical constituent in this is bornyl acetate. So notice that both Black Spruce and Siberian fir have a significant amount of the bornyl acetate in it, and that's what makes it so effective. And so that's known to brighten your skin. It's really known to activate or to inhibit the enzyme tyrosinase, which produces melanin. So when we have dark spots, and this is especially true in pregnancy too, the hormones of pregnancy can bring on the mask of pregnancy. So coupled with the brightening gel and the Black Spruce, that's going to be a great combination to help with those irregular, those unnatural darkened spots on our skin, whether they be aging spots or whether they be hormonally related or dark pigment from sun exposure. Okay, so that's a really great thing to know. It's also fantastic to apply right to the abdomen for a pregnant woman if we know where the placenta is lying. Oftentimes, not oftentimes, but from periodically, I would venture to say more often than we care to know, we have some autoimmune issues going on that cause multiple miscarriages or multiple pregnancy losses. And this actually facilitates that undoing when we apply this where the placenta attaches to the uterine wall. So that was a really interesting tidbit there. Another constituent in this helps regulate the healthy immune activity, helps protect cells, penetrates the blood-brain barrier, and is great for joints and mobility, okay? Alpha-pinene keeps us active. So any excuses of age that come in, oh, it's because I'm 30, 40, 50, 80, Black Spruce would be a great option for those discomforts of the aging process, okay? And so remember, you can use this aromatically and topically, and we already talked about applying it on location to the problem, as well as on the reflexology of the points, and then of the reflexology points of the feet. And then, of course, breathing it in, diffusing it, okay? So really helpful in all ways. So here's the cost of it, $24 retail, $18 wholesale, 18 PV, okay? So it's a 5 ml bottle. And I can tell you already that this is going to be one of my personal favorites. I absolutely love the tree oils, and it is really a delightful smell. If you love balance, you're going to love Black Spruce. If you love Forgive, which I do, you're going to really love Black Spruce. In fact, I gave away my bottle of Forgive the other day, and I forgot who I even gave it to, and I did not have that for Angie, so I had to go grab just a whole kit and just give her the whole kit. So at any rate, so then they paid some homage to the Queen of Rose, and so we talked a lot about Rose. We've had Rose Touch now, like Marie said, for some time. Great for uplifting the emotions. It's just an overall, like the frankincense is the king of the oils, Rose is the queen of the oils, good for anything and everything. The one thing that she talked about was her daughter. She had rented one of those jumping slides for her daughter's birthday, and a couple days later she broke out with an infection that later was known to be MRSA, okay? And so then all her cousins that played on it, they were exposed to it. A couple of them got it. And the fourth boy on this side is Russell Butter's nephew, who also ended up with that. And so here's Russell Butter's nephew with MRSA under his eye, almost took his eyesight. And using the same protocol that she used for her daughter and her niece and nephew, Emily was able to get gone with that MRSA in 10 days. And this is what she used. So make a note of this superpower team. She used cilantro and arborvitae on the feet. They were swallowing the On Guard soft gels, and then she was applying the rose and tea tree touch oils directly to the area, okay? And so this is a powerhouse team, and we all know that MRSA is really tough to get rid of. And so I'm really glad that she's tested and proven this combination of oils for that specific thing. I have used tea tree oil. I've used On Guard. I've diffused Arbor. I've done Arbor Vitae. I've done Melissa. And actually, I never, ever once thought about Rose, sadly. And I'm so glad to know that she has this protocol down pat that was effective for each one of those boys. Okay. So, all right, let me go down here for a few slides. Skip down through a few slides here and come back to this one here. All right, so now Rose, if we open that Essential Life book again, we see that Rose is great for intimacy, great for connecting, or intimate relationships rather, great for connecting, great for radiance, and so really good words to remember. And so I really do love this 3-word jog, memory jog is what I'm going to call it for me, okay? Intimate, connecting, radiant. And so the top uses for rose oil would be to up-level those intimate relationships. Anytime we have a low libido or aren't experiencing fulfillment in our sexual relations with our partner, that would be a great option. Great for bacterial infections, scars, wounds. Great for grief and depression. So fabulous emotional support all the way around. Great for childbirth and baby blues, any kind of postpartum depression. Great for facilitating mother's ability to be in the driver's seat during childbirth. Great for any kind of brain issues. In fact, she talked about a little boy with a seizure disorder, and said that she was going to give her some rose, to give the mother some rose, because it's been shown to have some really great benefits for the brain tissues for seizure disorders and nerve issues. So that'd be a great thing to share with anybody you know with any kind of seizure disorder. Great for the skin, wrinkles, capillaries, any kind of redness. Great for increasing semen production, impotency, and any kind of prostate issues. So really, this is a good one for men and women alike. Great for emotional balance, fabulous perfume. Fantastic for so many things. And I'm just really glad that she emphasized and did a spotlight on rose strap. They're great for anger issues. I love this slide. And it'll knock an anger issue in seconds. And I don't know if any of you have ever experienced knocking a temper tantrum with balance or lavender or serenity, and it's seriously seconds. And it's like the child looks up at you and says, "What did you do to me?" And so great to know that rose is really great for anger. So if we've got any anger issues, that's an option, okay? So now this was something she recommended, putting, and I don't know about the 5 drops, that was curious to me, but putting it on a cotton ball and slipping it inside the pillowcase or the pillow slip while you're sleeping. And
One thing that, if I can jump in, one thing that I really appreciated at this convention, I felt like they made an effort to give very specific protocols, more direction in terms of how to use the oil for a purpose than I've ever seen before at a convention. And I really appreciated that because, you know, so often they'll say, oh, you know, this oil is wonderful for this. And then you're left sort of wondering, okay, well, how do I use it? What was the protocol? Like, I remembered the story about Rose from last year's convention, but like this year, she actually said, okay, this is what I did. And
yeah,
that was so wonderful.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And I agree with you, Marie, that it was really protocol conscious. The how-tos are coming back. And so, and those of you who watch convention, if you can still watch convention, if you have not participated in the live streaming or have not purchased that option yet, you can still purchase that option. And it was magnificent to see Greg Cook, at least it was magnificent, maybe that's the wrong word, but for Greg Cook to come out and talk about quack, 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 don't tell me these things don't work. And so he talked a lot about that. So really great for menstrual cycle, any kind of abdominal pain or abdominal cramping or menstrual cramping, great for that. And we talked about the skin, great barrier protection. So when we talk about the cost of rose, rose is a really precious oil, 10,000 roses, not rose petals, but 10,000 roses to produce 1 5 ml bottle of essential oil. And so that's a big deal. And so now we have that available to us. But take a look at these number of bottles produced at the the rose oil is distilled in Esateri over in Bulgaria, and so they're getting the rose from the Kazanlak area region, and so this is how much good they've done in that area, and that distillery has grown from, and so they do lavender, melissa, helichrysum, rose. There's another one I'm forgetting, but there's another oil over there that they produce. So that distillery has grown to 36 different stills, and so it's a big production to see this Esateri and how it's come. So good news there. And so doTERRA is really planning ahead in this. I found it interesting that the roses, obviously, just like the jasmine, the rose petals are picked in the very early hours of the morning before 6 a.m. So the chemical constituents literally change. They're just gathering the rose petals there. So I'm really fun. So here's the rose now is available full time. A 5 ml bottle is $275 wholesale and 200 PV. And then of course you can get the Rose Touch, which for the US cost is $75. Okay, so now we have it available. Good to know that we have it available. And then they talked about Kenya and the fact that they're now producing tea tree oil from both Australia and Kenya and seeing very similar chemical constituents in both regions of the world. They talked about the fact that these people are undocumented citizens. Essentially, they live in Africa or in Kenya, but they do not own property. And so they are basically migrants almost because they're not recognized by the government until they own property. And there's millions that don't own property, right? And so they talked about the humanitarian outreach there, which was absolutely beautiful. And so this woman, she was given some starts for tea tree trees. She planted them, and here she is showing her trees just before she harvested them. And she's still somewhat skeptical. And then this is her after she got paid from harvesting those tea tree trees. And then they saw, oh my goodness, can I do this again, she said. And so this is a really beautiful outreach here. But what doTERRA has done is they've acquired 13 acres of land where they are planting tea tree. And so they're basically doing a micro-lending program, essentially. That's not exactly what they called it, but where they're lending these people 1 to 2 acres to farm with Melaleuca, with tea tree. And then they are paid for their harvest. And so doTERRA gives them what they need to live on, and the rest goes into a savings account. And within about 3 years, they then have enough money to actually purchase the land that they are working on, harvesting Melaleuca trees and some other crops that will be coming up. And so now doTERRA works with them to help them become documented citizens of the country. And then they actually are landowners, and then they can continue on producing as farmers for us when they'd actually worked to pay for the land themselves. And now doTERRA gives them the land to continue to, not really gifts, they pay for it out of their wages, but really beautiful, beautiful concept of helping lift them up to a higher level. But while they were over there in Kenya, as they went to see what was another crop, that's when they landed on lemon eucalyptus. So they recognized that they had a fantastic, absolutely fantastic, naturally growing or wild growing lemon eucalyptus. And so that's another crop we are harvesting in Kenya. So we're harvesting quite a number of things from Kenya now. That you're going to see in up and coming. And what a great way to elevate the standard of living there and to raise these people from a poverty-stricken mindset where they are lucky to make, a few dollars a month. And so now they're able to have a consistent income to manage their family's needs. So really, really beautiful. So lemon eucalyptus is a fabulous oil. That's another one that I shared with Angie, okay? If you know what eucalyptus is good for, then consider lemon eucalyptus as eucalyptus plus lemon oil. It's really citrusy smelling. It's absolutely positively delightful. I really kind of like the smell, I love eucalyptus anyway. I can't feel I can't sense the eucalyptus smell in this. I sense more of a citrus smell. And it's really, really lovely. So this is a great one for refreshing and cleansing the air, promoting positive emotional response, cleansing and purifying the skin and the hair. And so 97% of the eucalyptus is gathered in Kenya, okay? Actually, so we think of this as a means to avoid pests during the seasons, okay, of summer. So they're pest control. It is found. It is all by itself good, and so we would kind of think of this as like a terror shield, along with maybe a lemongrass or something. And so it's a really great bug repellent. And we also got citronella that I'm going to talk about later. But notice this. This is a really key note for lemon eucalyptus that breaks up the biofilm of the candida. This is fabulous. And boy, have we needed this for a long time. Now, this is not labeled for internal use. So this is also topical and aromatic. So if we know we have a candida issue in the gut, where are we going to apply it?
On the stomach.
Yeah, on the abdomen and on the reflexology going to the feet, okay, which is the middle part of your foot, the soft fleshy part of your foot on the arch. So those are where we're going to apply it. So we're going to diffuse it and apply it topically, okay? And so I'm really glad to have this, and I look forward to maybe perhaps one day we have something that we can actually take internally, but this one is not it. But it helps disrupt the biofilm of the candida so we can actually get it gone. All kinds of studies on this ability of lemon eucalyptus in breaking up the biofilm of candida. Great in the bathroom, okay? Great for unpleasant odors. This is actually citronella. I don't know how that one got in there. So that's an oddball. Forgive that last slide, okay? Then we talked about Yarrow Palm a great deal because we added a couple of products to Yarrow Palm. How many of you are loving Yarrow Palm? Yeah, me too, Sarah. I'm absolutely loving it. I use it morning and night, and so does my husband on his skin. My husband's skin was kind of harsh, and his skin on his face is baby butt soft. I'm not kidding. I can actually enjoy just stroking his face because it's so soft. And so I was on a 13-mile hike Saturday, and I had a lady say, "Debbie, how old are you?" And I said, "I'm 55." And she says, "I always thought you were younger than I was." And I'm older than she is by a number of years, actually. And she says, "What keeps you so young?" And I really believe that doTERRA's products is what keep me so young. Getting rid of toxic products. doTERRA does toxin-free products well, don't they? And then their attention to purity and potency and quality is magnificent. And so just adding the Yarrow Palm to my skincare seriously makes me feel wonderful. Well, then they added, all kinds of testimonials on this. But then we have, it's a great, Yarrow Palm acts as a great tonic to rejuvenate the blood cleanser. Okay, so where do we filter toxins in our body? And primarily it's the liver and kidneys, right? There's other organs that we talk about with the 30-day cleanse, the lungs, the colon, the skin. But really, as a blood tonic, this would be fantastic, right? And we can take a Yarrow Palm internally. But now we have another benefit as they brought out a Yarrow Palm capsule. So hang on a second. So they talked about the Yarrow Palm, they talked about the pomegranate, the benefits of the pomegranate. Fabulous, fabulous add to the Yarrow Palm with regards to its ability to really maintain, as an omega oil, really maintain the nervous system and hormonal balance. Really great for the cleansing of the organs, the liver and kidneys and pancreas. So really great. So anyway, now we have a Yarrow Palm body renewal serum, which is really, really, really exciting. And I have used this on my skin, on my arms and my legs and my belly. It's really yummy, but it's got a number of oils in it. Notice the oils in this. So this is not for internal use. This is for topical use only, okay? So they've got jojoba. They've got, of course, the pomegranate seed oil. They've got jojoba, sunflower, avocado, grape seed, argan. And then they've got, okay. So it's really oil. So it really doesn't make you feel all over for more than just a minute, but it's more oily than the Yarrow for sure, and more oily than the serum and the nourishing. Okay, and so it's really nourishing, hydrating, really yummy. So about the fact that he wants to be bathed in Yarrow Palm, and so she created that. So now we also have Yarrow Palm capsules. Now this is really fun. Notice what's in here. This is incredible. This formula is enhanced by celery seed, a new oil, frankincense, palmarosa, turmeric, Melissa for the skin benefits they provide. And then you have grapeseed extract or grapeseed oil and melon extracts, as well as zinc, citrate, and vitamin C. Okay, the vitamin C is ascorbic acid, which I'm not particularly fond of, but this is a fabulous internal capsule to help us create literally anti-aging benefits from the inside out. I am excited about this product. I've been using it every day since we got it at convention. So really great. I'm really excited about the celery seeds, frankincense, palmarosa, turmeric, melissa inside this thing. What a fabulous, fabulous combination. Then they added to the skin collection. And they have a really fun video that I'm going to invite you to search if you haven't seen it already. But they talked about the kids collection and the fact that we were really attending to mind, body, and spirit and heart and keeping the body resilient. And so we were missing a really vital part, and that's the tummy tamer. Okay, so now we have a roller bottle that is tamer, and it's like digestion for kids. And it's that color bottle. Actually, I have that in my fanny pack, forgive me. It's in this color of bottle, and so they actually gave us in the convention kit, they gave us the a topper for the tamer, okay, and a card that attaches to our cards. There's a card and a topper in that little thing, okay, in the convention kit. And so all these things are going to be available at post-convention tours, minus the Manuka oil that was a freebie that we got at convention, okay. But the tamer is a lovely, lovely blend. I actually really like the smell of it, and I was a little bit under the weather one day while I was at convention, and so I stuck this in my fanny pack and applied this to my abdomen. And so this is what it has in it: is spearmint, Japanese peppermint, ginger, parsley seed, and black pepper. And so all of those are very soothing to the tummy and help with digestive issues. And but it does not have the fennel or the anise. And so if you've noticed that, anybody that really hasn't appreciated the black licorice smell in the digestive blend, this is going to be fantastic. Now the fennel has some really fabulous hormone benefits. And so for pregnant women who are not liking the fennel at all, this is going to be a really great option. So I'm going to recommend this for any kind of pregnant women that are not liking the digestion. Digestion is still going to be my first go-to for adults, but if they don't like that, I'm going to go for tamer. And notice that their sense of smell in pregnancy is really hyper. And so this is already diluted with fractionated coconut oil. I think this is going to go over really, really well with the children and with pregnant adults alike. So at any rate, they talked a lot about the fact that, it's not just about a bottle of oils, it's about who's on both sides of that bottle of oils. And so then let's talk about citronella. That's a lovely oil. I didn't think I could fall in love with citronella. We know it's in the purified blend. It's in the TerraShield blend. And this is another citrusy smell. It has a really nice citrusy smell and really great benefits from the citronella. There's the cost, $18 wholesale, 18 PV. And there's the actual root of the citronella. Great for a repellent, but also great for a cleanser. Great to put in a spray bottle and clean your counters with. Great to clean your outdoor patio furniture with. Great to spray that down. Diffuse when you're having outdoor parties. Wash the tables down outside. Great for that kind of benefit. But then Dr. Hill talked a lot about what else it can do. And so it combines well with any of the spice, mint, or fir oils for easing discomfort. And so any kind of discomfort would be a great option for citronella. Blend with cilantro and tea tree for healthy toenails. So it's really great for athlete's foot. Really good to know. All right, so there's your combination, your powerhouse for athlete's foot: tea tree, cilantro, and citronella. Okay, so make a note of that. Add 1 to 2 drops to your face wash for gentle clarifying of the skin. So it's really great to combine with the wood oils for acne. And so citronella and the wood oils like cedar would be a great combination to combine for cleansing the skin. Great to add to the shampoo for healthy hair, and also great for lice issues, okay, lice prevention or itchy scalp. And so really great one. Now it has a great benefit for the brain too. And so I found this really interesting. A citronella aroma supports balanced mood through influencing the modulation of GABA. If you know of anybody who's been taking gabapentin, that pharmaceutical, this is a great option. Okay, so I love how their timing just seems to be kind of incredible with when they launch these products, and they're obviously working on them for years before they actually launch them to us as new products. So great for relaxing and supporting normal autonomic response. So anytime we're uptight with, oh, there we are. Okay, with what's going on in our world, great for calming the central nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Anything that operates automatically is in the autonomic system, and the fight or flight response is in the autonomic system. Okay, and so we're controlled by the autonomic system. And so we want to consider citronella as an option for fight or flight too. Okay, so great benefits. Okay, really helpful for the digestive system, or actually no, not citronella. But when we talk about the digestive system, Dr. Hill talked about the fact that the digestive system has two jobs, one of protection with immunity and one of digestion. And so he talked a lot about the fact that our gut is responsible for at least 70% of our overall immunity. And so that's a really important that we not forget these important daily takes with the probiotic and the Terrazyme. He spent quite a few minutes on these two products, saying these are basic for every day. And one thing I loved about what he said about Terrazyme was that when we take the Terrazyme, it puts us back into rest and digest. I've always said that since he said it the first time, but it puts us back into rest and digest. So when we provide our body with the digestive enzymes, our body can actually create and facilitate the use of metabolic enzymes. We can't give ourselves metabolic enzymes, but we can give ourselves food enzymes so the body makes the metabolic enzymes. And so when we don't give ourselves enzymes, then our body has to make the digestive enzymes, and that puts it into a stress and digest form. Okay, and so this is a really critical piece to your everyday wellness. So be sure that you're taking advantage of all the benefits of Terrazyme, supporting digestion and allowing the body then to produce the metabolic enzymes. So now this was interesting, an interesting statistic, was taking all the peoples that populate the entire earth, 74% are living with various digestive concerns and disorders. And so that's a big deal, right? That's a huge population. And so we do need to pay attention to that. And so these are our digestive family products that we've talked about for a long time. And you're now seeing the black pepper in that Tamer blend. You're seeing Japanese maple in the Tamer blend. We got rid of the fennel in the Tamer blend, but we added the parsley and the black pepper, okay? Also has ginger in both the digestion and the Tamer blend. So really good things. And then he talked about the fact that how all those oils work, and you kind of see it there on the screen. The black pepper acts off of the CB2 receptors, the same receptors that we talk about with the beta-caryophyllene in copaiba. So black pepper also has beta-caryophyllene, okay? The ginger acts off of the 5-HT3 receptors. Peppermint works with gut motility. Digestin is a broad receptor, and then you've got the benefits of the fennel. So he brought this to our attention, and then he launched celery seed. Now this was kind of interesting and a little bit embarrassing for me. Not really, it wasn't really embarrassing. That was not the word. But I have been juicing celery for a couple of months or more now, and so he asked who juices celery. He said it's not a bad thing, but he really thinks we can do it better with celery seeds. So I'm still juicing celery. My husband is taking the celery seed oil, and it's a little bit bitter. It's not very pleasant. So I'm also using it, but in the morning I'm juicing celery, and in the afternoon I'm taking some celery seed with some citrus oils, and that totally knocked it for me. Yesterday when I took it, it was like so bitter. I was like, oh, this is really, I said to Jay, you trial this one. I'll keep juicing celery until I finish the case of celery that I've got. And then I'll play around with the celery seed a little bit and have my own experiences. But at any rate, consider combining the celery seed with the citrus oil to make it more palatable, okay? Best to take it first thing in the morning, okay? But you can take it other times too, okay? Really great product. I'm really excited about this one. And so we talked about the benefits. Now notice this. Great for healthy antioxidant activity, supports the cardiovascular system. Can you turn on the back door light, please? Healthy metabolism. Thank you, dear. Supports healthy oral tissues and teeth. So you think about that. What does that bring to mind when we say healthy oral tissue and teeth? What comes to mind if we're supporting the mucosal membranes? What comes to mind with that? Know anybody with, oh, thank you, sweetheart. Know anybody with cankers or periodontal disease? Those are what came to my mind, okay? So swish and spit or adding a drop of that to your toothbrush or making a gargle with it. All kinds of ways you can use celery seeds. It's not going to be the most pleasant. That's why I say consider mixing it with some citrus oils, okay? Very calming to the nervous system, supports a healthy immune response, supports healthy lung and respiratory function. So this is also an option for Jaden, okay? And I think it's really interesting how many oils we got this time for supporting lung function, okay? So, all right, now he talked about mucosal membranes and digestive functions and gave us some protocols. And again, like Marie said, we got a lot of protocols. Now, the urinary tract is not part of the digestive system, but it can benefit from this celery seed oil, okay? And so he talked about with the esophagus, the celery seed enhances the mucosal defense factors to protect against the breakdown of mucosal and digestive tissue. And so anywhere we have mucous membranes, basically the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the intestinal tract, all the way down to the outward dumping in the toilet, okay, those are all mucous membranes. And so it really helps support that, the healthy lining, okay? And so celery seed enhances the body's natural defenses and a healthy stomach lining and tissue. So who do you know that has a broken mucosal membrane inside their stomach with ulcers, okay? This would be an option for that. How many of you know somebody with an inflammatory bowel disease or intestinal disease? This would be an option for that, okay? So I see all kinds of benefits from this celery seed oil. And I'm going to say, bite the bullet, just take it and benefit from it, right? And so who do you know that has breakdown of tissues in their gut with Crohn's or colitis or stuff like that? These are going to be magnificent beneficiaries of this celery seed oil. So this is how we can take it. We can either take it directly in a glass of water or we can put it in a capsule. And for those who are taking it daily that can't quite palate the bitterness of it, then we can put it in a capsule and take it morning and night, okay? And then he says combine with spice or citrus oils in equal amounts to enhance the benefits. So, okay. Really supportive for the bladder and kidneys as well. Also, the bladder is mucosal membranes, right? And so anybody that you know that has interstitial cystitis or something like that, any kind of bladder and chronic bladder infections where they have breakdown of the mucus tissue of the bladder, the mucosal membranes, that's going to be a really helpful oil for that kind of thing, okay? And so he recommended mixing it with juniper berry in a gel capsule. So 1 to 3 drops of each of them, of the celery seed and the juniper berry in a capsule, and take that as needed. So great protocols, like you said, Marie, right? This is user-friendly, very doable, very duplicatable, and we want to share this, all right? So then he talked about the large and small intestine and their jobs. And the small intestine is primarily responsible for absorption and the large intestine for getting rid of the waste product, right? And so then he talked about the fact that peppermint can be really helpful, and he launched peppermint gel capsules, enteric-coated soft gels in the peppermint. Now, this is exciting to me because, here it is right here. So the peppermint soft gels really, and the dosage is 2, and it's labeled on the bottle. So he said take as directed. The dosage is 2 capsules, 2 soft gels. And so this really helps the oils that we're taking internally go in deeper, okay? So it enhances their benefits when we take it with peppermint. So that's part of an everyday routine now, is what he recommended, all right? And so that helps drive the oils we're taking internally in deeper, and also enteric coated, so it gets to the intestinal tract. They're not broken down in the stomach acids, so we can get it to the intestinal tract and then really facilitate absorption of these of the oils and micronutrients. So great things there, and very calming, okay? Then Dr. Hill talked about the inflammatory process. Now we talk a lot about inflammation with doTERRA, and he made a really interesting comment. He said inflammation can be a good thing. So I want you to think for a moment, when we break a bone, we see swelling immediately, right? That inflammation stabilizes the area until you can get the bones together again or set the bones straight again, or what we need to do. So that inflammation can be a really good thing. And so inflammation is not always the enemy until it gets out of control. And so inflammation is the body's normal response to infection and injury. And so it's a good thing, but we can actually decrease the inflammation using the turmeric. And so that's what was the big thing we focused on last year at convention when they brought out the turmeric oil. Really key benefit, help for a healthy inflammatory response, increased antioxidant capacity. How many of you have been using turmeric since last convention? I love this oil. I absolutely love this oil. And I recommend it often because it gets rid of the crap. So it gets rid of the inflammation, but it gets rid of the sludge, the plaque, the poop. It gets rid of the crap in our bodies, okay? And so it's really great for the digestive system, really great for the cardiovascular system, for the brain, very neuroprotective. Anytime we have any kind of brain issues, injuries or brain breakdown, memory loss, any of your brain issues in later years, this is very neuroprotective. And so it's a good thing to take this. And so they then launched the duo capsules with the turmeric. So they combine. Now we've got the turmeric powder in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, specifically in the Alpha CRS, and also in the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex for its anti-inflammatory benefits, okay? And so the curcuminoids is what we're looking at in the botanical, in the powder, but it's not very bioavailable. Now they fix that by adding it to the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and their combination there is going to help that be absorbed. But if you know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that take turmeric powder day in and day out for its anti-inflammatory benefit, they're really not absorbing it well. So when they combined it with the turmeric oil in what we call the duo caps, this is so exciting to me. This is what it looks like. It kind of looks like the PB Assist in a way, but it's very challenging to make this capsule. The pressure in the capsule makes a big difference in its bioavailability. But they found that adding the turmeric oil with the turmerones to the curcuminoids in the turmeric powder increased its absorption by 11 times. So that's huge. So this is really an exciting first for doTERRA and first for any kind of a going forward with healthcare and essential oils. You're going to see a lot of this coming down the pike here with these dual capsules probably. And we're going to see lots of good things where this is dose related now, dose specific for specific health concerns. And this is how we are merging with allopathic medicine. So this is incredibly exciting, okay? So the plant has been used for thousands of years, used worldwide. It's sourced in India. And so there's been lots of clinical trials and tons of scientific publications with the benefits of turmeric. And that's why you find it in places like Costco or your grocery stores or your health food stores. But the bioavailability of it is a problem. And now doTERRA has something that nobody else does where they've combined the oil with the powder. And boy, we're going to see great things with this. So I'm really excited about this one too. So turmerones in the oil are known to promote or support healthy glucose metabolism. So think of all those people that have an issue with glucose metabolism. They're going to want to consider these dual capsules. It supports healthy cardiovascular system, supports a cellular antioxidant, and it actually helps the body to produce glutathione. That's another metabolic enzyme that the body produces. We can't give it to you, but lemon oil is another one that helps produce glutathione. The turmeric is well known for that. So promotes healthy nervous and cellular function. Internal use has been shown to increase curcumin potency and absorption, healthy immune function, and clean and healthy looking skin. So we're seeing phenomenal results with this turmeric oil. And now combining it with the powder, that's going to be a powerhouse, big time. Okay, so, all right, so this is what it looks like. So I think, you know what? I forgot the adaptive. I don't have any slides on the adaptive. That's embarrassing. So let's talk adaptive for a moment. Okay, that's a really exciting new product line. It came in a package of 1 box. I don't know if you can see this. It's a package of 1 box. And when you open it up, it's got all 3 products in it. Now, I have actually been using the adaptive, not the capsules, not every day, but I've been using something with the adaptive every day since it came out, and I really do notice a difference. So here's the capsules, and the adaptive capsules have some really great stuff in them. It has lavender, coriander, wild orange, fennel, ahi flower, you say this word, scaledium or something like that. And then gamma aminobutyric acid. So whatever that means. Okay. But what we're noticing with this is that it really is calming. So I'll be really honest with you. I was really feeling a lot of stress today with what was going on in my world. And so I grabbed a couple of these capsules and immediately came to a place of peace where I could be of assistance instead of a stress mess. Okay. And there were some personal issues with me because I had a son. We struggled with one of our teenagers. Many of you know that story. And one of my other children, actually, when he left our home, started vaping. And so I knew that this vaping issue could very well have been my son. And so I was seriously stressing. And I loved that I could take the adaptive. I breathed in the oil and I took the capsules. And so, Sarah, you might say that I had a panic attack. Okay. And I was really grateful for the way the adaptive really calmed that down. So stress response, panic, anxiety, the adaptive is going to be magnificent, absolutely positively magnificent for that. And we have it in both a 15 ml bottle and a roller bottle. This is in my fanny pack. So I'm opening my second box for this one right here. But let me read what oils are in this adaptive.
And Debbie, can I jump in for a sec?
Please, please.
So I was sharing the adaptive with someone today, and she was curious about what was in the capsules. And I was really pleased to see that on doTERRA.com, when you just search adaptive, there are 2 really in-depth articles about those 2 things that you had trouble pronouncing that I can't remember what they're called now.
Yeah.
But I started reading the articles and I was like, oh, this is really interesting in terms of just understanding chemically how these are interacting with our body system. So for people who want that sort of in-depth knowledge, yeah, it's on doTERRA.com now. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. So in the oil blend, we've got wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum. Now, I don't know anything about sweet gum yet. It might be on those sheets, Marie. But this is really exciting how this has come about with these combination of oils. And it, you know, if you
I think sweet gum is a wood oil because that's where it was on the slide.
it does say
had
resin, so it's a wood
We
oil.
had all the oils grouped in what families they were, and sweet gum was with the woods.
Yeah, very good. So really exciting here. I don't know how I missed that on my reviewing convention and doing screenshots. I don't know how I missed that, but at any rate, you know, each one of these oils individually is really helpful for anxiety. Magnolia by itself, neroli by itself, rosemary, you know, very, very much for clarity of mind. Copaiba, very great for anxiety. Lavender calming, you know, and wild orange calming. This is like a powerhouse oil blend. And I think we're going to see really great things. And you know what, Sarah, do you remember when we did that video and it was like, you know, it's not a matter of when, or a matter of if we experience anxiety, but a matter of when. We will all experience anxiety and perhaps panic. I don't know. But at any rate, the adaptive is going to be a real big powerhouse for that. I absolutely am excited beyond comprehension on this combination. So really great stuff coming down the pike. So now what are your takes? I'm going to open it up for you. I'm going to shut up for a minute, open up for you. I know several of you in Canada watched the live streaming. So what were your take homes? And Megan, you know, I don't know if you watched the live streaming yet or if you purchased that option or not. So what is your take home so far?
Well, I'm always pleased to see doTERRA's commitment to sustainability. And that's, I think, something that came through in the convention, just seeing their planning for the future. I love the idea of it being, you know, right for people on both sides of the bottle, so that ethical stewardship of both the land and of the people who are involved in producing the oils, right from the growers, harvesters, distillers, and employees.
Yeah, really incredible foresight, right? And there's so much peace of mind that comes from that, knowing that they're they're planning way ahead. Even in Hawaii, as those who earn the Hawaii trip or those who go to Hawaii in January, the humanitarian effort there is going to be to plant trees to reforest the Hawaiian area. And for every one tree of sandalwood that they harvest in Hawaii, they have 10 more seedlings going into the ground. You know, talk about the foresight to make sure that we meet the supply and demand. For every tree we harvest, and we're not cutting it down, we're just harvesting the sandalwood, right? Well, we are cutting it down, maybe. I don't know how they harvest the sandalwood. But they're planting 10 new seedlings. So that's really, I love that. And when David Sterling talked about frankincense in the opening session and talked about their efforts for frankincense and how they've gone directly to the source, and now they combined 4 different species for its synergy benefits that makes it even better than just the boswellia by itself, but how they're protecting the frankincense groves. We talked a little bit about that last year, and he emphasized it again this year. So the sustainability is incredible. And even these farmers in Kenya that are now being offered an acre or 2 of land to grow tea tree or another crop on, and then they are able to eventually buy that land with their earnings. And then, of course, they're going to continue partnering with doTERRA, right? And so I love their foresight in really making a difference all around the world to keep this going and bless every home. And that's what I enjoy doing with doTERRA, is sharing until we get this into every home. Other thoughts, comments, take homes?
I thought the convention was really great. I have to say, watching it from home, it is a completely different vibe, obviously. But it actually, like, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to really, really suck watching it from home. Go, please. Yeah. But it actually was really good. It was really good. Like, I loved having our team together and like potluck, and you know, being able to talk over the TV a little bit and like converse about the different oils. It was good. I'm just extremely excited to try the black spruce and the adaptive in particular. Those are my 2 that I can't wait to get my hands on. And my daughter is super excited for the tummy roller.
Very good. Very good. And so all of the products are supposed to be available October 1st. I'm really excited that they're available quickly. And so one thing that Dr. Hill said was create your own experiences with these products. And I love that, because the experiential evidence of experimenting with these products is really valuable and valuable for everybody. So as you try these products and have experiences with them, please do post them on social media. Please do share them with your teams. Please do share them with your friends and neighbors and family, okay? Because we really can make a difference with these products. I'm excited for what we've got here. So great things are happening. Any other thoughts? Thanks, Sarah, for sharing that. I'm glad you guys were able to pull your team together a bit and create some synergy right there in your own home. Janelle, any thoughts? Lindsay, any thoughts? Anna Mae? Are you excited about the new products? Yeah, very much thumbs up, right? Well, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate your input. I appreciate you jumping on. Forgive my delay. And keep Jaden in your thoughts and prayers and his dear family. And we'll sign off for tonight, okay? I'll be posting quite a bit of stuff on social media for this, and so watch for that. Get your teams involved in the experimentation with these oils. All right, bye-bye for now. Have a great night.
Thanks,
everyone.
Debbie.
Thanks,
You bet.
Debbie.
For
Give
joining
me a call if you need anything, Debbie.
Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate you, Sarah.